Welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV and back in Ralgr's Reach. Let's talk to Mephris after finishing our 2 quests, right? Lizzie, are you alright? First of all, allow me to commend you both on a job well done. Though nothing went according to plan, we nevertheless managed to attract some new recruits, and it was your passion and conviction that moved them to join. Thank you. No, thank you for giving me an opportunity to find out what our people have been through these past 20 years. It's been humbling and troubling too. I'd heard about the skulls, but this was the first time I'd seen them in the flesh. I know you say they're the same as any other Imperial soldier, and mayhap that's how I'll have to think of them myself if our paths ever cross on the battlefield, but... When, not if. That day will come, Lise. You can't afford to hesitate when it does. Young, old, conscript, citizen, Guardian, Alamegan. None of that matters. They've all got their reasons, but they're no better than yours, especially when they're bearing down on you blade in hand. Saying that, I don't want to kill them any more than you do. If I could convince them to lay down their arms, I would. Sadly, I've never been much of a talker myself, but who knows, maybe you could be one, Lise. Your father certainly was. Right then, I'd best begin preparing for these new recruits. Serenia, Lise, it's been a pleasure. Owing to the effort of you all, we have accomplished a great deal in a short time. The Resistance thanks you for your service, Science. I see operations here have been proceeded apace in my absence. Welcome back, brother, dearest. I take it your efforts to gather new recruits were successful? Indeed, there were several among the Science ranks that were quite eager to take part in our joint endeavor with the Resistance, whom I come to present. Commander Camp, if I may, my name is Aaron Valentinos, a half-breed, as you can no doubt tell. I'm here to fight for a free Alamigo, for an Alamigo where women like my mother are never made to suffer. I pray you grant me this honor. You're a true-born son of Giabania, same as me. This is not my honor to grant, but yours to freely take. Welcome, brother. With our swelling ranks and the aid of the Eorzean Alliance and the science of the Seventh Dawn, I believe we will soon be in a position to seize the initiative. Once our new recruits have received sufficient training, I will propose to General Aldin that we draw up plans for an assault on Custom Velodina. Then in the meantime, we will make what preparations we can. So, what was the quest? I didn't quite get it. Maybe we get it now? Meanwhile, in the royal palace of Alamigo.
Alliance forces have occupied Castrum Oriens and taken up positions along the length of the wall. Our patrols have engaged their reconnaissance parties on site, but there have been no significant exchanges, save one. A unit tasked with field testing prototype Magitech weapons was attacked. The weapons were destroyed, with the unit sustaining near-total casualties.
Near-total? Go on.
My lord, there was but a single survivor from the unit in question, which falls under my command. According to his report, they were ambushed by a contingent of Eorzean Alliance regulars, abetted by resistance insurgents.
A simple ambush and only one survivor. A fine day's work. The stubbornness to survive is not without worth. He may live. However, the 12th is no place for the weak.
He shall be relegated at once, my lord. As you say, the 12th is no place for cowards who count their lives more precious than the cause.
Indeed, indeed. We have no need of cowards.
My lord,
Cowards, who defer critical missions to their subordinates, who hide within their castra, never meeting their prey in battle, never staring into the whites of their eyes.
I wonder, do you believe Xenos would have left the soldier officer likely, alive if he had not flinched back? If he had just stood there and accepted him coming, Xenos coming at him with blade in hand, showing he's no coward?
Why? When confronted with a heretofore unknown icon, did we surrender the wall to the Alliance? Because my honored father, in his infinite wisdom, has not seen fit to grant us leave to march on their lands. Accordingly, we have extended an invitation to our neighbors. Gyr Abania is where we shall host them. The field upon which we shall enjoy the sport of kings. Patience is paramount. Cornered animals may have spirit, but they are ultimately predictable and very poor sport. But if one dangles the promise of freedom before them while nipping at their heels to stoke their passion, then things become interesting. It is a delicate dance, and one which asks much of my hounds. And so I put the question to you, my fellow huntsman. How shall we deal with these savages?
The way he's talking. Huntsman, prey, animals. As if this is a game to him.
My lord, I have a proposal.
Silence, Alamegan! You do forget yourself!
He asked for a proposal. And none of you were saying anything, so...
Only by the grace of Lord Van Baelsar were you afforded a place here, and that in name alone. We have no need of your proposals, savage.
So she was recruited by Von Belzer. That makes sense. He was good at recruiting people and instilling loyalty in them. But Van Belzer also gave him a real chance. Apparently, the 12 does not.
This savage yearns to hunt her own. The floor is yours, Commander.
Thank you, my lord.
Right then, I've got duties to attend to. Mayhap we could assist you with said duties? We're here to help after all. The three of you have been busy, so I will understand if you require time to rest. If not, however, it would seem sensible to assist our allies with their preparations. We'd be grateful for any and all help you can offer. If you ask around, I guarantee you won't want for work. Beefs certainly has seen you somewhere before. Or Beth's? I beg your pardon. The woman who bested Gaius von Belder wishes to offer me her assistance. I say, this is highly irregular, though I have heard it said you had a penchant for aiding the common man. In which case, before the occupation I was a humble historian. While my duties leave me scarce time for aught else, I think it's important that these monumentous events be recorded for the benefit of future generations. Primary sources are indispensable, and I had in mind to question a number of my fellow freedom fighters. Ask them their motivations for taking up this cause and so forth. You may take down their statements in this log. And, Zerenia, thank you for your service, now and ever after. Alyssa? Why did you join the resistance? I was just a cook before all this. Simple fare, really. Had a chance to lend a hand and help feed some refugees one day. I took a liking to the fighters. They believed, you know? And there's always a need for cooks, or at least people who can work with whatever the foraging parties turn up. And you also have a quest. So, what, can I do something for you as well? You want to help, do you? Seeing as how I'm in no position to leave the stew pot unattended, could you go and ask Tebe for a variety of herbs? 6 bricks or so of whatever he's got on hand should suffice. It's not as haphazard as it may seem. Depending on the recipe, it doesn't really matter what sort you add, so long as you add something. I'll be here when you get back. But first the others. You also have a quest. You look like a strider in search of comrades in need. If so, I have a task for you. I am a trainer, and I was told to expect new recruits, Miss Eve. Yet nary one has come. Perhaps they were given the wrong time or location. I do not know. By number 5 and all these would-be warriors, send them unto me, should you chance to find them. Why did... Okay, this is... Why did you join the resistance? Why? Why indeed? To save life, perhaps. Or to make amends for the ones I couldn't. My father and my brother were worked to death while building a castrum. What did it matter to the Guardians, eh? More where that lot came from. After that I couldn't keep on doing nothing. Okay, and here is one of the people who are looking for the trainer. Devout recruit. I know, I'm late. But I had to say a prayer for my sister first. After what the Imperials did to her, death was a mercy. Aren't you the Icon Slayer? Damned if I know why you'd bother asking someone like me why I joined the Resistance. But it's simple. If I wasn't fighting for Alamigo, I'd be fighting for the Empire. You're either with them or not, and if you're with them, you may as well make the most of it. Food, training, citizenship if you live long enough. You'll die stealing someone else's land like as not, but that's your choice. But me? I'd rather die here. Herbs, is it? 6 bricks of whatever is on hand. Afraid I can't spare that much. You'll take 2 and be glad for it. The remainder you'll have to gather yourself. Shouldn't be too much of a bother though. You'll be surprised what you can find growing underfoot even in the Reach. Oh bugger, you were sent by the snake, weren't you? I heard one in 4 recruits doesn't live through their training. That can't be true, right? Oh bugger, oh bugger. Don't worry, you're 5, your chances are good. Why'd I join the Resistance? Well, if you must know, it was to avenge a friend the Imperials butchered before my very eyes, back in Alamigo. We owed a stall in the market as a passing soldier snatched up a piece of fruit. He spoke out before I could stop him, only to get a film of steel in the gut for his troubles. I found my way here, and that was that. Here are the reports. Well met, Serenia. Have you spoken with the freedom fighters as I asked? As fascinating as they are varied. You have a knack for convincing others to bear their hearts to you. I could not have done it better myself. Many years from now, when these tempestuous times pass into memory, their accounts will serve as a window into the struggle. We must never forget, my friend. Never. The teacher calls for me? I see. We were discussing strategies for disabling magic armor, you see, and... Ah yes, of course. There's no time. You must if you would excuse me. Ah, 1,000 pardons. So preoccupied was I with the question of whether Alamigo should be a monarchy or republic, but I neglected to attend my training. How silly, I know. Until we drive the Imperials from our lands, the question is moot. Yeah, but I think it must be discussed at some point, and would be great if someone had at least brainstormed about it when it happens. So that's better than starting a civil war, right? After that war? Huh? Training? Yeah! I was so busy practicing to impress the others that I completely forgot. Thank you. Can't get up there. All recruits are present and accounted for. My thanks to you, Strider. Not all appreciate the rigor with which I train my recruits. Some favor a gentler approach, as if the Imperials will be so kind. 'Tis a thankless job to teach, some say. But I say their survival is thanks enough. Fare you well. Ah, there you are. Got those herbs I asked for? Precisely what type of herb this is remains unclear, but the important thing is it's green and fragrant. Thanks, that'll do nicely, and sorry to impose upon you, miss. Thought you were another new recruit, didn't realize until after that you were, but to answer the question, it's probably in your mind, yes, it's always like this. Never enough food or supplies to go around. All the more reason to be grateful for our countrymen, when our countrymen can spare some of it for the cause. But that comes at a cost too. Too many villages, too many children more deserving than us. But a man can't fight on an empty stomach, can he? So we partake as we must, and we will never lose sight of a dream. Swarthy resistance fighter. Damn it all, where could it have got to? Oh, pardon me, fellow lover of freedom and justice. You haven't seen a ward of a destroyer anywhere, have you? Maybe on the ground? As if a certain bloody fool had dropped it? I'd been him. I had it this morning, that much I know for certain, and I have not left the reach since, so it's got to be around here somewhere. If you got a moment to spare, would you be willing to help me search? I spent some time near the Temple of a Fist earlier, so it might be there. As for me, I look around near the officer's pavilion. They're hardly rare, I know, and I could just as easily buy another. But even so, please help me find it. Paper Warden scrap for prayer out of the patron deity of Alamigo, Ralgr. I swear I searched high and low, but it just won't turn up. 7 outs, that's the one. That's my lucky ward. You're a godsend, sister. Before I was born, my mother made a pilgrimage to the Temple of a Fist, where she, like many others, received the blessing of the monks. And then Theodoric came and burned it all to the ground, the mad bastard. And after him came the Guardians, who cared even less for our beliefs. But I still hold to the old days, as do many others. And when my son is born, I teach him the stories and the scripture, as my mother taught me. And with that, another task is complete. Serenia, I hear you have been keeping busy? I bet she has, and we thank her for it. It pleases me to inform you that our new recruits have been completed their initial training and stand ready to contribute. As discussed, Menago, I would have you present my proposal for an assault on Castellum Velodina to General Alden personally. Of course, sir. Are you and yours planning to return to Castrum Orients before the operation? If so, why don't we travel together? That seems a fine suggestion, but I must consult my comrades ere we depart. Very well. I will wait for you at the pass, but not too long. I expect Cry and Yestola will wish to remain here to support the Chirurgeons, but nevertheless, we should go and ask them. Is all amiss? I see. That would explain the sudden flurry of activity outside. This joint operation marks a turning point in our conflict with the Guardians. For the first time, the Resistance and Alliance shall go on the offensive and attempt to capture an Imperial outpost in occupied territory. Personally, I believe that it is imperative that we offer them our full support, as was the case with Ishgard. However, this is not a choice to be made lightly, nor less on others' behalf. This is war, and every Scion must decide what part he or she would play. I'll fight. For Alamigo, for my father, for Ida. I'm in it to the end. The choice was made for us ere we were born, brother, when the Empire marched on Eorzea. They will stop at nothing to subjugate or slaughter us all, when Belser and Vandanus were but the first to try. Though your fervor is surprising, I cannot dispute your logic. At the risk of repeating myself, I am of course of the same mind. The present situation is untenable and further complicated by the existence of Ilbert's Primal. I believe we have no recourse but to directly and openly intervene. I thought this was a foregone conclusion given our actions thus far, but if you require renewed affirmation, then yes, I'm still wholly committed to this cause, for it is ultimately the self-same cause I have served since I first pledged to serve Master Louis Swan in the Circle of Knowing. The salvation of Eorzea by any means necessary. That said, I shall refrain from taking the field on this occasion. There are many who require further treatment, and doubtless more to come after. I came here from Infilia, and that hasn't changed. However, I'd like to stay with Yestola for now and tend to the wounded. As for you, Serenia, you are, to quote our dear friend Lord Edmund, the woman who slew Gaius van Belzer and some half-dozen primals beside. Your presence might well prove the difference between victory and defeat. Many look to you as a hero and heap great expectations upon your shoulders. But you, like every Scion, must decide for yourself. So that is a yes. That is a yes. That is a yes. And that is also a yes. So I have a choice: yes, 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 or yes. To be frank, Alfie, this is tempting just to call him that. But we can but carry on. For those we have lost, for those we can yet save. Well said. Well said indeed. Take care, Y'shtola. Kryl, do not hesitate to contact us should you require assistance. Please, I would ask you to remain here by Conrad's side. We should go or Menaga will leave without us. Might I persuade you to join us, Serenia? Should you wish to give your decision further consideration, Castrum Orient would seem an apt place to do it. You need not answer right away. I'm sure I can convince Menaga to wait a little longer. So you will be accompanying us? Full glad am I to hear it. All set? Excellent. Then let us be off. Okay, directly to the custom. But I think I end the episode here. And next time we... Not Gridania. Next time we talk with Rauban at the custom. Until then, I'm Mace and don't get lost.